Bobby.
Bobby who?
Exactly.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey, this is Toxic Ring Scandal, aka KDH Toxic Ring Scandal here. Turnbuckle King in the building. We're here to talk about a good breaking news today. Bobby Lashley has signed with AEW. We'll be getting a match versus Swerve. Bobby Lashley versus Swerve feud. You guys get the likes of us. We come into the locker room, and as usual, it's time to air the dirty laundry. So we know that Bobby Lashley has signed with AEW. We know that the news has been official. It says he signed here. He's with the company now. We know that he previously wanted out of his contract with WWE. We know that the contract was done. Himself and MVP was very unsatisfied with how Triple H, with the booking of Bobby Lashley MVP. Of course, everyone know that Bobby Lashley MVP wanted to reunite the Hurt business. The stable that put Bobby on, Shelton Benjamin MVP, and of course, Cedric Alexander as well. And Triple H was against that. But other than that, Bobby, he found another way. He went to AEW. It says here that fans could look forward to another Hurt Syndicate member joining AEW. We know Shelton Benjamin appeared a week after MVP made his AEW debut. MVP appeared on Dynamite last week in a promo segment against Prince Nana to deliver Swerve a message. Then it said this week's program featured a backstage segment with MVP and Nana. MVP stated he does not deal with complaints, but rather has president of complaint department. Then we know that Shelton Benjamin appeared. If you guys remember Dynamite, this segment here. And of course, this previous one, this is the week before when MVP debuted on AEW Dynamite. Anyway, back to the article. It says that Benjamin appeared to ask now if there was an issue before walking off screen with MVP. Now they're saying that Bobby Lashley is set to join the promotion after all three men signed contracts a few weeks ago. So Bobby Lashley is AEW. He is all elite. We know Bobby Lashley. He is a very dominant force in the wrestling industry. We know that he's, like I said, known for the Hurt business, doing a damage, and of course, a former two-time WWE champion. The question is, when are we going to get ourselves a feud? Now, I knew it was a matter of time that Bobby Lashley would come to AEW. Now we got the Hurt business reunited. But since we can't use that name due to copyright and trademarks from WWE, they're going to be Hurt Syndicate. And we know that MVP and Shelton Benjamin already were in AEW, so it was only fitting that we saw Bobby Lashley appear in AEW as well. I couldn't imagine MVP and Shelton Benjamin making both their AEW debuts, and Bobby Lashley would not make his AEW debut. So it was bound to happen at some given point. But think about this, we think about a future feud for Bobby Lashley. What's a good feud I'm thinking of? I would say Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland. Bobby Lashley, like I said, dominant force. He could go against Swerve Strickland, who is one of the top guys in AEW. We know Swerve, he has had great feuds against Hangman Adam Page. He's had a match against Samoa Joe. We know that he just had a match against Bryan Danielson in which he lost the AEW championship, but he's still an AEW champion. He's a former AEW champion at this point, but this is a good resume for Swerve Strickland, former AEW champion. He has defeated Will Ospreay. He's defeated Samoa Joe. He's defeated Hangman Adam Page. Had a great match with Bryan Danielson at All In. This will be a great match between Swerve and Bobby Lashley. I can see these two taking it up in the ring. They could tear the house down for all we know. So never say never, as they said in wrestling business, but this is a good scenario between these two. I think their styles will complement each other. Swerve got the flying style. He's a little bit of Edge and Booker T, maybe a little bit Seth Rollins. Bobby, just a powerhouse. His strength. He has the hurt lock. He has the spear. He definitely could go. He definitely has good speed, especially at his age. And it could be a good tie-in with the Hurt Syndicate. Not Hurt Business no more. But I think this will be great. These guys come in, they'll tear it down. MVP manager, just like the good old days without Cedric Alexander. He will not become an AEW as far as I know. But I think this will be a very good feud between both of these men. I don't see why not. Bobby versus Swerve Strickland. Why can't we get that match? Now, will be the first feud that they will set up for Bobby Lashley. I don't think that will be the case. But I know somewhere down the line we can see both these two going off against each other. I could definitely see that going down. Because Bobby Lashley's in AEW now, there are so many feuds. I know there's a long list of people that he could face off against. I know you have MJF. I know you have Christian Cage. I know you have the younger talent like Will Ospreay. You have Ricochet. I know, people that, even though he faced the WWE before, you also have plenty other talent in AEW that Bobby Lashley go against. But the one that comes to mind the most is Swerve. Swerve will be, I'm pretty sure they're going to pair him up against Swerve. Let's be honest here. I said this on the channel before. They always pair black wrestlers with each other, whether it's a stable or whether they're a single star. They're going to feud them against another black single star. And I could very well see that happening with Bobby Lashley and Swerve Strickland. Now, we know one thing in common with Bobby and Swerve. They were very, very unhappy with their booking in WWE. They both had an issue with how they were being booked. Now, I know Swerve, his situation was different from Bobby. He was released, due to budget cuts with Hit Row. He was offered to come back to WWE, but he said no. Bobby, he could have stayed with WWE as well, but he said no. So these two are going. This is the only place these two can have a big stage in a secondary company like AEW to have a good matchup. So Swerve and Bobby Lashley is very well going to be the case. I'm calling it right now. Now, could it be a AEW All-In Worthy or Revolution or AEW Double or Nothing or AEW Full Gear? That I do not know, but I do know that these two will have a match, or they may just do something on Dynamite, a special episode. But other than that, I see these two having a feud against each other at some given point. And I think if booked correctly, it could be an amazing feud. Could even be a series feud for that matter. That's the way that I would at least book it. Be a good matchup. We have to wait and see what happens. Other than that, that's all I have regarding Bobby Lashley has signed with AEW. Match for Swerve. Bobby Lashley versus Swerve feud. Bobby Lashley is officially All Elite. He is with All Elite Wrestling. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below in the live chat. What do you think of Bobby Lashley now becoming a part of AEW? And do you see a great feud between himself versus Swerve Strickland? Similar to videos will pop up below. You guys click the links to that. Greatly appreciate it. You guys already know what it is at this point. It is OUT.
Me and Chris Benoit basically all started together, pretty much. You started a little bit earlier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But they pushed me to the moon and they held you guys back. And we all started at the same time. We were wrestling each other. We were getting each other over, putting each other over. And I thought we were all going to kind of come up together. And it was like, you guys stayed behind. And it was like, what's going on?
Well, I mean, we definitely had to work harder because you already said it, Kurt. You already know the answer is that you were a WWE guy.